In the modern world, we are often conditioned to think that a fulfilling life is one shared with a partner, that happiness and success are tied to romantic relationships. However, from a Stoic perspective, this notion can be limiting and misleading. Stoicism, which teaches the cultivation of inner peace, resilience, and living according to nature's rhythms, offers a radical and refreshing perspective on being single. Rather than seeing it as an absence or a void, the Stoic mind recognizes that singlehood is a profound opportunity to cultivate self-sufficiency, clarity, and personal freedom. In a relationship, it is easy to lose sight of one's individual values, goals, and desires. The needs and desires of another person often take precedence, and this can lead to a loss of autonomy and identity. The Stoic philosopher, however, advocates for living according to one's own principles, unclouded by external pressures or expectations. Singlehood, in this context, offers a precious gift, the chance to focus entirely on your own growth and well-being without the distractions that relationships can sometimes bring. By embracing solitude, you can cultivate inner strength, clarity, and self-love, building a solid foundation of mental resilience. In the absence of a partner, one is free to define their life according to their own terms, not based on the desires, needs, or opinions of others. This freedom is liberating, allowing you to explore the world on your own terms and embrace personal challenges without the need for validation or external support. Furthermore, Stoic wisdom emphasizes the importance of developing virtue, particularly the virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are cultivated through introspection, discipline, and the pursuit of personal excellence, all of which can be more easily achieved when living alone. In the absence of external distractions, one has the space to reflect on their actions, thoughts, and emotions, cultivating a deeper understanding of the self. Moreover, solitude fosters a deeper connection with the world and with the people around us. When not preoccupied with the emotional demands of a relationship, you are free to engage in meaningful relationships with others, family, friends, colleagues, in a more balanced and self-aware way. You can offer support, love, and companionship to others without being emotionally dependent on anyone. Singlehood also encourages the cultivation of independence, which is a central tenet of Stoic philosophy. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Being single grants you the space to recognize the power you have over your own life and decisions, to realize that your happiness is not dependent on another person's approval or presence. It is not the absence of a partner that defines your happiness, but rather your ability to find contentment, peace, and purpose within yourself. The benefits of being single are not only philosophical, but practical. When you are single, you can direct your time and energy toward personal projects, passions, and goals that align with your values. You can take risks, pursue new experiences, and create the life you truly desire without compromise. In relationships, there's often a negotiation of priorities, a balancing act between your needs and those of your partner. Being single eliminates this tension and allows you to be fully present in your pursuits. You can dedicate yourself wholeheartedly to your work, studies, creative endeavors, or any other activity that enriches your life. Additionally, being single fosters emotional independence. We often look for happiness and fulfillment in the approval or love of others, but the Stoics remind us that true happiness comes from within. Happiness depends upon ourselves, wrote Aristotle, a sentiment echoed by the Stoics. By being single, you are afforded the opportunity to develop a deep sense of self-love and contentment that doesn't rely on external sources. It is a chance to fully own your emotional state, to cultivate a sense of inner peace that is unshakable by external circumstances. There is also the opportunity for deep personal reflection and solitude. In our fast-paced, connected world, it's easy to become distracted and overwhelmed by the noise of daily life. But when we are alone, we can silence the distractions and listen to our inner selves. Stoicism teaches that true wisdom comes from self-examination and reflection, from understanding our desires, fears, and motivations. By spending time alone, we can engage in this crucial self-reflection, learning who we truly are and what we truly want from life. Stoicism encourages us to face adversity with equanimity and resilience, to accept the inevitable challenges of life without being swept away by them. In singlehood, you will undoubtedly face challenges, but these challenges can become opportunities for growth. Without the distractions of romantic relationships, you can face these challenges head-on, using them as a way to strengthen your character and deepen your understanding of the Stoic principles of virtue and resilience. In the end, being single is not a void, but a space for personal development, introspection, and growth. It is an opportunity to deepen your connection with yourself and the world around you, to create a life that is aligned with your values and purpose. By embracing the benefits of solitude, you can cultivate a life of wisdom, courage, and strength, living not by the expectations of others, but by your own terms. As the journey through Stoic teachings and the wisdom of solitude draws to a close, the reflection of what it means to be truly alone takes on a new form, one that is not shrouded in loneliness or despair, but instead bathed in a light of clarity and freedom. Being single is not a void waiting to be filled, but a canvas awaiting the stroke of one's own hand. In the quiet spaces, far from the hustle and bustle of societal expectations, one finds the fertile ground for growth and the seeds of self-realization. The principles of Stoicism, when applied to the realm of solitude, offer us the key to not just surviving alone, but thriving in our own company. Here, in the heart of stillness, we discover that to be single is to be free, unshackled by the invisible chains of external validation, and fully in control of one's fate. The Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, saw the human spirit not as something defined by its relationships, but by its capacity to endure, adapt, and rise above. Marcus Aurelius, a philosopher king, knew well the power of solitude. His life, marked by responsibility and battle, was also one of inner struggle and personal reflection. He understood that the true measure of strength lies not in how we are shaped by others, but in how we choose to shape ourselves in the face of life's unpredictable challenges. Being single, for Marcus, was not a state of deprivation, but an opportunity to cultivate the virtues that would lead him to wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In these moments of solitude, he forged his character, making decisions that would impact the course of history. The same opportunity exists for each of us in our moments of solitude. Moments when we are unencumbered by the expectations of others, where we are free to embrace our inner lives with clarity and focus. Imagine, for a moment, standing at the edge of a vast, open field, endless, unmarked by any path, untouched by the tread of others. In that field lies infinite potential. It is a space where your mind can wander freely, unburdened by the weight of commitments or obligations. This is what singlehood offers, the space to explore your own inner terrain, to discover your desires, fears, and aspirations, without the external noise that so often clouds our vision. Being single is not about avoiding relationships or closing ourselves off from the world, but rather about mastering the art of being whole on our own. In the pursuit of personal growth, we find not just peace, but power. Power to choose our own path, to pursue our own goals, and to shape the world around us based on our own values. The Stoic practice of self-sufficiency is perhaps the most profound gift that single life can offer. In a world that constantly pressures us to seek external validation, to find meaning in the approval of others, the Stoic reminds us that true happiness comes from within. The more we rely on external sources of happiness, the more fragile our peace becomes. Relationships, no matter how fulfilling, cannot be the source of our happiness. The Stoic teaches us that we must first be content with ourselves before we can be truly content in any relationship. And in solitude, we find the space to cultivate this inner peace, to fortify ourselves against the storms of life. As we stand in solitude, we also learn the profound art of self-discipline. The Stoics were masters of this practice, understanding that self-discipline is the key to personal growth and resilience. In being single, we are presented with the ultimate opportunity to practice this discipline, to focus solely on our own development, to dedicate ourselves to our goals without distraction. With no partner to rely on, no one to absorb our emotional energy, we become acutely aware of our own strength and capability. We learn to set boundaries, to make decisions based on our values, and to push forward even when the world seems to oppose us. Each step we take in our journey of self-discipline is a victory, a reminder that we are the architects of our own destiny. But the benefits of singlehood go beyond personal growth. In the Stoic tradition, there is an emphasis on virtue, the pursuit of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues are not abstract ideals, but practical guides for living a good life. When we are single, we are free from the distractions of romantic entanglements and the expectations of others. This freedom allows us to focus on cultivating these virtues in a way that would be impossible if we were constantly engaged in relationships. We are free to choose what is truly important to us, to pursue the things that align with our highest ideals, and to live according to our own standards of integrity and virtue. In solitude, we find the clarity to discern what truly matters and the strength to pursue it relentlessly. In this pursuit, we also come to understand that being single is not about isolation, but about connection to ourselves, to our values, and to the world around us. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of all things, and in being single, we are not disconnected from others, but rather free to form deeper, more meaningful connections. By learning to be at peace with ourselves, we become more open to connecting with others in authentic and fulfilling ways. The Stoic approach to relationships is not about dependency or attachment, but about mutual respect and understanding. In this way, being single allows us to form connections that are based on genuine appreciation for each other's virtues, not on the need to fill an emotional void. As we explore these Stoic insights, we come to understand that being single is not a burden to bear, but a gift to embrace. It is a time for reflection, for growth, and for the cultivation of the virtues that will lead us to live a life of meaning and purpose. The Stoic principles we have explored serve not only as a guide for navigating single life, but as a roadmap for navigating all aspects of life. They teach us to focus on what we can control, to cultivate inner peace, to pursue virtue, and to embrace solitude as an opportunity for personal transformation. In the end, we find that being single is not about lacking something, but about having everything we need to live a fulfilled and empowered life. We have the power to shape our own destiny, to choose our own path, and to live according to our own values. By embracing the Stoic philosophy and the wisdom of solitude, we unlock a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We become the masters of our own fate, unshackled by the expectations of others, and free to live a life of true freedom.